Alright, welcome to the next episode of the devlog. So, as a quick recap, what did we do last time was we managed to, inside of ball, have new methods for hold, set held position, release at, and actually managed to transport the ball at the end of super shot with integrate forces through here, and we did that at we did that, and inside game manager we're calling that release set method, and also inside of physics process we're calling set held position, and we also implemented a basic momentum, sort of adding ball velocity at the end of wherever I transport the ball to, using current ball direction and current strike power. So let me quickly show what that looks like. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. So let's build and run. So we're playing the game normally. Oh, we also had to fix our left bumper super short debug method, but I managed to fix that last time. Let me just click left bumper, so the ball follows the pivot. I can aim towards the left, and there we go, momentum gets added. Let's trigger another super shot. Let's aim it straight up. So yeah, it works. Momentum's added. Now what next is I want to figure out a way. Firstly, the way I've done it right now is too messy, right? Not in terms of transporting the ball, that's fine. Wow, there's a lot of thunder. Sorry about that. There's lightning and thunder right now. In terms of transporting the ball, that's all sorted with integrate forces and all this. That's all really good how I'm doing it. What I don't like is how I'm plugging in the ball velocity. The way I'm doing it is a bit like I don't have a single source of truth. I'm doing it through the ball method, and I'm just calculating it as the max, as whatever the max is for the paddle variables here. So I'm gonna go away. The next step is I'm actually gonna not a lot of coding. I'm gonna sit down and try to write down and figure out what the best way is to calculate it. Whether it is just to make these max, I've got base strike force, max proximity, max charge bonus, and have the max of all of that as the momentum, or have a separate sort of formula to figure that out, or have that, or have a separate formula. And the other thing I need to do is figure out how to implement it, because it's a bit messy having these sort of variables here, to be honest. So max right, that doesn't need to be there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to try clean this up, and hopefully by the end of it I've got a better ball velocity at the end of super shot. So I'm going to try to do that now. All right, so that is sorted now. So everything we done was in everything that I done was in ball, paddle, and game manager. So I'll try to quickly go over this because I actually explained it all and didn't realize I was recording. I wasn't recording, so I have to re-explain everything now. So for the values, I've just inside ball for the values, I've just changed the variable name to super shot strike power, super shot strike direction. Everything else is exactly the same, so that's fine. Everything works normal. For paddle, let's start from the bottom and go up. It actually makes sense. So before, if you don't remember, I had emit ball hit, which was a method which created the strike info and emitted a ball hit signal. And then I also had the separate super shot detected. Then I had the separate super shot detected signal as well. Now because I'm passing info into the super shot detected signal, that's becoming a mouthful now. I've decided to make this method emit super shot or ball hit, calculate the strike info, and then check, okay, if it is a super shot, then emit the super shot detected signal, and else, if it's not a super shot, emit the normal ball hit, right? So I've changed that. We've got our get aim direction, we've got our get laser endpoint, which is just getting the endpoint of the laser this position, like let's say the laser's pointing here, it just gets this position here, basically. Got that. Get pivot position, get laser direction. This gets the direction. So it's basically like pivot to ball, how that was working. This is the same thing. So that's all good. That's the methods inside paddle. Then inside our strike thing, so when we find out that it is a strike, that the ball's within range and whatnot, here we get our ball direction strike power, we create the strike info, emit super shot or ball hit, give it the information. That way, okay, that's gone off. Calculating whether it's a super shot or not. If it is, it will emit that. If it's just a ball hit, it'll emit that as well. Then we got our info, and then we got if it's not a super shot, ball dot apply strike. If you can't remember, I had to create an apply strike method inside ball and call that through here because balls are non-persistent, so I wasn't able to emit a signal and subscribe a ball to the signal as well. So for non-super shot hits, in order to apply the strike, I had to do it here. But for super shot, I can do it through elsewhere. So that's good. And then for my debug left bumper manual super shot, all I'm doing is creating a debug strike info, plugging in all this information, and then emit signal super shot detected debug strike info. To be honest, I should do emit super shot or ball hit. What does that take again? Let me double check. Emit super shot or ball hit. So that takes, we need distance, ball direction, and strike power. So up here it wouldn't make sense because I don't have the distance, or I'm just creating random. And I'm creating the debug here, the strike info here. Yeah, so it wouldn't make sense. So it's actually correct to just emit the signal straight here. So that's fine. Paddle sorted. Then in Game Manager, here is inside Manager is where I'm going to be calculating all the super shot stuff. So we've got min super shot speed set to whatever, max super shot speed set to whatever. Now these are tweakable. I can make the super shot softer or stronger whenever I like, so that's good. We've got our on super shot detected, which now takes a strike info. Everything else is the same, just plugging in info. And then in our trigger super shot slowdown, everything's the same except here. Right at the end, once I set the timescale back up, we get the release position, which is the laser endpoint, the release direction, which is the laser direction method that I just created, and the release speed, which is calc supershot speed, give it the charge percentage, and then plug that all into release at inside ball. Now for the calc supershot speed, so how I'm going to calculate it, I've got let me do a new part. We've got a min value set, let's say it's 1,000, and we got a max, let's say it's set to 2,000. That's not what the values are, but whatever. That's good. So on super shot, the ball gets here. You got the ball here, and then on super shot, it takes in what the strike percentage is here. So this is from 0% to 100%. So it finds out what the value is for the strike, for the charge. That way, the reason why I did that was because super shot should always feel like a reward for risking the ball going very like out below the pivot. But I wanted that extra bit of like a little bit of a bonus for someone who managed to charge the paddle to 100% and managed to do that as well. So that way both get, you still get rewarded and you get a little bit of bonus. So the way it's working is it's just taking in the charge value, let's say 75%, and it tries to figure out between here, okay, 75 would be, I don't know, 50% would be 1500, right? So if you charge that 50%, it would be 1500. If you got a charge of 0%, which is impossible, but let's say you got a 0% charge, it'd be 1,000. So that's the floor, that's the ceiling, and the percentage is anywhere between there, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Quality equals mathsf dot clamp charge percentage 0 to 1. That's just a guard to make sure it doesn't go below or above 100%. Below 0 or above 100. That's a debug print statement. And then here, mathf.lerp, min super shot, max super shot speed, quality. Again, to reiterate, 0% charge would be minimum super shot speed, 50% would be halfway between, and 100% charge would be max. So, with that all explained, I can show you what it looks like now. So, the values are wild. So, I don't like the values on it of the actual speed, but it works now and it's all neatly organized. So let's say we go here, let's that's a normal super shot, so it should bounce off really fast. There we go. So as I said, the speed is too fast, but now it's working and working correctly. Let's do a debug super shot, and there we go. Another debug, it should be boom. So it works now, and now I can easily just tweak the values here. It should be here, minimum super shot C. So if I feel like it's too fast or too slow, tweak these values here, and that'll be good. I don't want to tweak the values just yet. The reason why is because I do feel like, let me play this. I do feel like the ball is a bit too large and the playfield is a bit too small. So I want it to be a little bit like feel longer. So I'd need to make the ball smaller, the paddle like slightly smaller, the width slightly thinner or whatever. But that's for later on. At least like I've got stuff in place where, okay, I can tweak the size of everything, and in order to accommodate that, I can tweak the values of the strike power and the super shot speed and whatnot. So I've got everything in place for that. So next, what should I do next? Next, I don't want to forget about game feel. So with game feel on, where is it? On ball hit, we're doing a hit stop, which just freezes everything for a second and then releases. And then we've got add trauma, which shakes the screen. That's all good. With super shot, what I want is, with super shot, the duration I've set it to about 3 seconds, right? During that duration, I kind of want like, let's say like this wiggle represents how much the screen shakes. So within that duration, I want it to start off slow, get faster, go to nothing, and then do like a hit, like a screen shake. That's for screen shake. So screen shake. So that's what I want to implement. And maybe also controller vibration. I don't know if that's going to be inside game feel or inside its own script, its own node, but I do want to add vibration for this, so if the screen shakes, have like an equivalent vibration motors going off in the controller. That's a bonus if I manage to get around to that. But the main thing I want to do is inside game feel, do a screen shake. Before it was a simple screen shake, shake the screen on the hit stop, and it's like a small dung dung, But this one, because it's over a period of time, like 3 seconds, have it like variable, start off slow, become faster, pause for a bit, and then boom, explode like a big shock. That way the player feels the intensity as well. I feel like I want to do that. Let me check my steps. So these are the, let's do this. These were the steps that I had for super shot. So implement straight line beam, we've done that. Keep this off, only toggle on during, so yep, done that. Find a way to slow down time, yep. Hold ball at pivot, yep. Transport ball to pivot, yep. Can make super shot feel more sustainable with visual effects, so that's what I'm doing now. And yeah, so basically we've implemented super shot, that's good. I initially named it a super hit, which is crazy. So this is done. We could move on to targets, then power-ups, but I want to flesh this out a little bit more with the game feel stuff. So, again, I know I repeat myself a lot. Next step, game feel, variable screen shake across the super short slowdown period. Then, as a bonus, I'm going to try to implement a controller vibration along with that, along with all the other hits, normal strikes of the ball, normal screen shakes, and a super short screen shake as well. I'm going to try to do both of that. Not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure it out, and yep, and then I'll explain how I did it. so that is, well, one's done and one I've just done the first steps of it. So I managed to do both the screen shake for the super shot and implemented the first steps for the control of vibrations, but that's not completely done yet. I'll explain what I got. I used a lot of AI to help because I had no idea how I was going to implement this. Essentially, everything I've done is inside GameFeel. So let's focus on the screen shake. So just as a quick reminder, my plan was have the super shot slowdown period, and within that period have a screen shake which gradually gets higher, pauses for a bit, and then towards the end just a loud bang screen shake, whatever. That was the plan. I already had apply screen shake essentially, so I didn't want both of them to interact. And also I realized for this last like big screen shake, I can just use what I've already got. So we've got, it's a lot to explain, so because this is all of that basically. Essentially what I'm doing. Let me try to figure out the best way to explain this, because I somewhat understand what's going on and I needed help to implement it. So we're applying screen shake every single frame, and obviously if screen shake is 0, screen shake has like a set trauma and then gradually goes down. That's how screen shake works. So if screen shake is not enabled, then just set everything to 0. So that should be easy to set, like for a player to turn off screen shake in the settings, it would be an easy toggle, so that's good. We've got two channels working. We've got the normal, like the quick fire, every hit there's a screen shake, and at the end of the super shot slowdown there's a screen shake. Those are like quick impulse screen shakes. So that's the impulse channel, and then I've split the super shot slowdown build up into its own channel called the build up channel within this. So essentially it's the same code as before for the impulse channel, and for the build up channel it's build up intensity equals get build up intensity, which is a method that I wrote, and then having that build up offset, same code as above, and then just summing them for the offset and the rotation. It's really hard to explain how this is working. So for that get build up intensity, let's go up here, right here. So if build up is not active, so build up is this period here, this period in the screen shake. So return 0 if build up is not active, but if it is active, we're taking the elapsed time, which is the time in seconds, and I've grabbed the time like this because this is the time off the clock. If you recall in Game Manager, we're slowing down the engine time for the time scale to slow everything down. So in order to get real time, we take it off the clock from the system basically. So that's how I'm getting the time here. Minus super shot start msec, which is just how do I explain that? I don't even know how to explain that. Anyways, this is just getting the build up intensity and calculating the freeze point. So I set the freeze point to roughly, like, let's say this is like 75%. So we got the super shot period, we've got 75%, and I've set it so that it continuously builds up until 75%. After 75%, nothing, and then right at the end, have a massive, like, quick, intense screen shake. So that's what get build up intensity is doing. And yeah, so on super shot started, setting the super shot duration to the super shot slow down duration. Super shot start msec. This is the timestamp, and then setting build up to is true, and then on super shot end is build up active. Set that to false. Add trauma for the end quick bomb. Hopefully that makes sense. It was a lot of code that I had to implement, so it's really hard to keep track of what everything is doing. Let me show you though, so you can see it in action. So you'd see now there is a slight screen shake. This is the normal screen shake that I had before, actually. And then if we do a super shot, build up, pause, boom. Let's do that again. Build up, stop, hit. So I actually really like how that's happening. Now with the vibration, which I understand a lot more. So we turn that off. Let's do hit rumble off. Okay, so for vibration, I've got apply rumble, float weak, float strong, float duration. If vibrations is again another guard, so that the user would be able to toggle this on and off within the settings. So for each int device, essentially what this is doing is constantly looping to check what devices have we got connected and pulling those devices. Input.start joy vibration, so that is just to start a vibration, and it takes the device. This is a Godot built-in method, and it takes in the device, which we're putting off here, a weak float, a strong float, and a duration. So duration is, I don't know, 1 second, half a second, however long you want it. Weak and strong. There's 2 vibration motors in the controller. So there's actually a weak motor, which is more fluttery, better for quick things, and there's a stronger motor, which is good for like big thuds and whatnot. So that's the method that Godot gives. We've got apply rumble, which is what I've made. So anytime I'm gonna apply rumble, I will call this method here. So on ball hit, we're doing do hit rumble, which is this. It's just taking in a bunch of the information, such as the proximity and the charge, calculating like different floats for them, depending on whatever. And then apply rumble, weak, strong, hit rumble, duration. We've also got on super shot end, apply rumble, give it values, and give it the release rumble duration. And then I've got vibration enabled as a variable. I've also got hit rumble duration, set that to 2, so for every hit it's set to 0.2 seconds. Release rumble duration. Release rumble is this rumble here. So at the end of that big screen shake, basically. So at the end of a super shot. And yeah, that's what we got. Obviously you're not going to be able to feel it, and I can't really express how it is. So when I play, it's typically like at the tip top, at the edge of the radius. It's like a light rumble, like a quick light rumble. If I charge for long and let the ball drop, it's slightly stronger. So it's actually more of a subtle vibration than anything. And then if I do the super shot, there's no vibration at this point, and it just vibrates now. And it's like a very loud boom. So that's good. That's not complete though. So in terms of next steps, I want to do 2 things. I want to tweak the values here because I feel like it's a little bit too weak and a little bit too short for some of them. I like the end vibration here, the one that I got there. It's pretty good. It's solid. But in terms of the values for the hits, where have I got it? On ball hit, do hit rumble. So these, I want to tweak these values to like hone it into what exactly I want. Because right now it's subtle. I do want subtle, but it's a bit too subtle. And then also inside process, I want to apply screen shake for this. Sorry, not screen shake. I want to apply rumble for this period here. So when the screen shakes for this set period of time, apply a rumble that starts off slow and then builds up and then stops dead in its tracks. I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to do that now. I feel like I've done enough for today. Like I said, in tomorrow's devlog or the next devlog that I do, those are the steps that I'm going to do. As a recap of what I've done today, I feel like I've completed super shot in terms of like the logic, not in terms of game feel and vibrations and whatnot, but obviously in terms of the logic inside Game Manager, I feel like I've completed that. That's sorted. And I've also applied screen shake for the super shot as well, like a custom sort of screen shake solution. So that's sorted as well. So yeah, I feel like it was a good productive day. I know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. And yeah, I'm gonna see you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.